Angstrom Levy pulled 16 evil versions of Mark Grayson from across the multiverse and unleashed them all on one Earth at the same time. Today I'm breaking down every single Invincible variant and what happened to each of them. Starting with the one who set a record nobody wants. Flax Ansible. This guy is dead before most of the other variants even finish picking their targets. Flax Ansible went straight for the Pentagon, and it became clear almost immediately that this Mark was way weaker than the real one. The Reaniman handled him. Those cybernetic zombie soldiers literally tore him apart. No goggles, no glory, no surviving the opening stretch. But if you think going out first is embarrassing, wait until you see the variant who showed up looking like he raided a sporting goods store. Mohawk Mark. This is the variant that looked at Nolan's Empire and said, I could do that better. Mohawk Mark rocks a black and blue suit, no mask, and a mohawk that screams, I am not here to negotiate. In his home universe, he went full dark side and became Emperor of the Viltrum Empire. Not a general, not an advisor. Emperor. When he showed up during the Invincible War, he hit the White House. Got beaten down, sure, but he escaped and leveled the Pentagon, which is exactly the kind of thing a psychopathic emperor does when he's annoyed. But here's the grim punchline. After Angstrom stranded the surviving evil Marks in the Wasteland dimension, Mohawk Mark held out the longest. One by one, the evil Invincible picked them off, and Mohawk Mark was the last one eaten. Not saved, eaten. Here's the thing about a multiverse war. Not every soldier gets a story. Some just get a costume and a body count. Retro Invincible is one of those. Named for what appears to be a vintage-styled suit, this variant has almost zero canonical detail attached to him. What we do know is that he showed up during the Invincible War, confirmed in fan-documented footage from the Chaos. Beyond that, nothing. No backstory, no dramatic death scene, no villain monologue, just another evil Mark who showed up, caused problems, and faded into the background. But if you think the obscure variants are forgettable, wait until you meet the one who dressed like a knockoff Omni-Man. Bulletproofable. You'd think after watching one Invincible variant get demolished inside the GDA base, the next one would maybe reconsider walking through the front door. You'd be wrong. Bulletproofable showed up after Flax and Siebel and did the exact same thing. Entered the base, ran into the Reaniman, got torn apart, which is, not ideal. Here's what makes this one painful. This guy has bulletproof skin. Gunfire, shrapnel, conventional weapons, all useless. Enhanced strength and durability well beyond a normal human, none of it mattered. The Reaniman overwhelmed him before his durability could make any difference. Two variants, same base, same defenders, same result. The GDA didn't even need to change tactics. But if Bulletproofable's death was embarrassing, the next variant picked a fight that went much, much worse. Capvincible came through Angstrom's portal with the rest of the evil Marks. Possessing the same Viltrumite human hybrid physiology as every other variant on this list. And that's basically everything we know about him. He fought as part of the collective invasion force, didn't get any standout moments, and left fans with exactly one interesting question. What does Cap even mean? Is he a captain? Does he wear a cap? Is it short for something else entirely? Nobody knows. I don't know what to tell you. But speaking of variants with actual things to talk about, let's move on. Lensless Invincible. This variant is genuinely unsettling. Not because of what he does, but because of how much fun he has doing it. Lensless Invincible rocks a yellow and blue suit similar to the main Marks, but his mask is pure luchador style, with his eyes fully exposed. No lenses, just wide open crazy eyes staring right at you. And those eyes tell you everything. This Mark is hyperactive, sadistic, and treats violence like a playground. He has genuine childlike enthusiasm about hurting people, actually complaining when he kills opponents too quickly. Already? I was just getting started. Which is, not ideal. He tore through the Guardians of the Globe with that same disturbing glee, but his fun didn't last. Darkwing 2 dragged him into the Shadowverse, where both of them were trapped. Whether they're dead or just stuck in that nightmare dimension is unclear, but either way, he's off the board. But if you think a cheerful psychopath is disturbing, wait until you meet the variant who killed his own father and stole his identity. Most of the evil Marks went dark in their own way. They embraced violence, joined empires, lost their minds, but Omnivincible, he killed his own father and then became him. In his dimension, this Mark murdered Omni-Man and straight up took his identity, not metaphorically. He put on the title, adopted the name, and started wearing a suit that fuses both of their aesthetics together. Blue and white color scheme, cape with the invincible eye symbol merged with Omni-Man's look, yellow-tinted goggles that give him this cold, detached stare. The whole outfit screams, I am my father now, which is not ideal when you got there by committing parricide. The entire Invincible series is built on the father-son dynamic between Mark and Nolan. Omnivincible represents the absolute worst outcome of that conflict. He didn't reject his father, he didn't forgive him, he replaced him. That costume isn't a design choice. It's a trophy. But if you think killing your dad and wearing his clothes is disturbing, wait until you meet the variant whose goggles tell a completely different story. Goggles Vincible. This one's easy to spot. The costume keeps the signature blue and yellow, but shifts the shades darker, with black markings running down each side from bicep to thigh, longer gloves, pointed ends, black feet, and then the main event, absolutely massive goggles with a nose bridge. The man looked like he was about to go welding, not invading, but the real story isn't the goggles, it's how he died. In his home reality, Goggles Vincible killed his version of Rex Splode, so when the Invincible War kicked off, Rex from the main universe took that personally. He detonated himself in a suicide attack and took Goggles Vincible with him, a non-powered hero destroying a Viltrumite hybrid through pure spite, which is, not ideal if you're trying to prove Viltrumites are unstoppable. But if one desperate sacrifice could drop a Mark variant, wait until you see what happens when an entire planet's heroes get coordinated. No Gogglesable, this one's going to start a fight in the comments, and I'm here for it. No Gogglesable is the 12th evil Invincible to appear, and his whole deal is right there in the name. No goggles. Eyes fully exposed, luchador-style mask, zero lens protection. He's hyperactive, sadistic, and treats murder like recess. Darkwing 2 dragged him into the Shadowverse, and both seemingly died inside. Now here's the thing. If that sounds exactly like what I described for Lensless Invincible, that's because the fan community genuinely cannot agree on whether these are two separate variants or one guy with two nicknames. Same death, same dimension, same missing goggles. I don't know what to tell you, pick a side, but at least No Gogglesable has a name people can spell, unlike our next variant, who went full Empire loyalist. Mustache Invincible. Out of 18 evil marks unleashed on the world, guess which one outlasted every single one of them? The guy with the mustache. I don't know what to tell you. Mustachable was the 5th evil Invincible to appear, but the absolute last variant to go down. Every other evil mark got crushed, snapped, or exploded, and this guy was still standing. His mustache, by the way, couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Throughout different scenes, his facial hair shifts between completely different configurations. Almost like the animators kept redrawing it every time they cut back to him. His survival streak finally ended when the Guardians of the Globe took him down for good. The first evil mark to die was Flaxensible, killed by the Reaniman. The very last was Mustachable. Neither was taken out by the main Invincible himself, a perfect bookend to the entire war. But if Mustachable's survival instincts impressed you, wait until you meet the variant who took things way more personally, Hood Invincible. Every other variant has some kind of edge to them, a dark backstory, a twisted power set, a creepy silence. Hood Vincible just has a mouth. This guy rolls into battle with a southern accent, a blue and white suit, and goggles draped below his chin like he couldn't be bothered to wear them properly. He's not strategizing, he's not brooding, he's taunting you mid-punch and loving every second of it. And honestly, it's entertaining. He's the most personality-forward variant in the entire lineup, treating the Invincible War like a Friday night bar fight he showed up to on purpose. But here's the thing. For all that bravado, Hood Vincible needed help from other variants to overwhelm main Mark. That swagger didn't translate into a clean solo win against anybody meaningful. All that talk, zero solo receipts, which is, not ideal for someone who talks that much. But if you think loud and reckless is bad, wait until you meet the variant who went completely silent after a year of Viltrumite torture, Prison Invincible. Most variants look like Mark in a different outfit. This one looks like Mark, who went to hell and crawled back out. Bald, covered in burn scars, Anji's skin scorched and veiny. He's wearing a white and gray prison uniform, and every mark on his body tells you exactly what happened before he says a word. He spent months in a Viltrumite prison. Months of brutal torture by beings strong enough to crack planets. The fact that he survived it all is terrifying, because it means even Viltrumite hybrids can be permanently scarred if the punishment is severe enough. So what does he do when Angstrom drops him into the mainstream universe? He attacks Moscow. His comment? He needed a warm-up after months of torture. That line alone makes him possibly the most dangerous variant in the entire group. His body is broken, but whatever was inside him that could feel pain, that died in that prison cell. But if you think a tortured Mark is unsettling, wait until you meet the one who went full Viltrum Empire loyalist, Sporty Invincible. This guy has maybe 15 seconds of screen time, and he's one of the most talked about characters in the entire show. I don't know what to tell you. Sport Vincible rocks a tracksuit with a sharper design than the standard suit. Blander colors, goggles with a nose bridge, pretty unremarkable on paper. But then you notice the exposed toes. The toes changed everything. The internet saw those bare feet and immediately lost its collective mind. Fans dubbed him Gripper Invincible, and the nickname stuck harder than anything about his actual role in the war, which is basically nothing. He shows up during the initial attack, probably dies off screen, and that's it. 0 confirmed kills, 0 dialogue. But he has more fan art than variants who actually did things. His cultural impact is inversely proportional to his screen time, which is honestly kind of beautiful. But if Sporty Invincible became famous for looking ridiculous, the next variant became infamous for something far more disturbing. Viltrumite Mark. This is the version of Mark that said yes. When Omni-Man stood on that mountain and asked his son to help him conquer Earth, this Mark didn't even hesitate. He went full Viltrum loyalist, and his design makes that painfully clear. He wears the default Viltrum Empire uniform with the Empire logo stamped on his chest, basically a walking billboard for galactic conquest. Physically, he's almost identical to our Mark, just with a slightly different hairstyle and 0 eye bags. No guilt will do that for you. He was one of the surviving variants banished to the Wasteland universe after Angstrom's betrayal, and in that wasteland, the stranded Marks started turning on each other. Viltrumite Mark was one of the last ones standing, which strongly suggests he was one of the strongest of the entire stranded group, and it still wasn't enough. The deadlier variants eventually hunted him down and killed him. His strength only delayed the inevitable. Sinister Mark. Most evil Marks went dark because something broke them. Prison, war, ideology, a bad day that never ended. Sinister Mark didn't break. He just made a choice, looked his father in the eyes, and killed him. Then he put on a cape. The design says everything before he opens his mouth. Black and yellow suit, long flowing cape, full-fingered gloves, widow's peak, pale complexion. While every other variant looks like Mark in a bad mood, this one looks like Mark if Mark had never had a good mood to begin with, cold, imperial, completely detached.